All right. Welcome. It is time to begin as our crew sets sail away from Druid Island or the Ladies Island. They had packed their board, got in some gear from the sinking ship they had scuttled as they ruined the League of Miracles plans, and leave the Druids to their own devices forthwith as they move. And I believe you are setting sail, if I remember, directly through the Fool's Curtain, correct?
Yes, hoping to maybe use some of these newly gained giant equipment as maybe bartering tools instead of fucking gold. I'm not trying to get fleeced again, man.
To be fair, now if the toll is still only 300 gold, we can actually afford that.
I mean, true.
Comparably, back then we were like, damn, that's a big chunk of our total gold.
Yeah, true. But think about it. Think about if we convince them to, go see what's happening in these towers for the low fee of, hey, you want some giant stuff back? I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not the charismatic one in this group. I guess that is not the right character. I'm like, that is a green-faced humanoid.
All right. With that, as we head towards the first leg of the journey that essentially is going to get you into the Fool's Curtain, give me a navigation check, Navigator.
Oh boy. So that's intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Plus Navigator rank.
Hilariously terrible. That's gonna be an 8.
Okay.
Did you borrow my dice?
No, I'm using the thing. No, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna will that into the universe. No pun.
Dirty here. What do you mean?
No pun intended.
All right, so it's up to you. Remember, per rank, each level of rank, you are allowed to auto succeed.
Oh,
after you roll, but that's for the journey, right? So it just depends if you want to use that now or later, or
this is just to get us to the Fool's Curtain, correct?
Right.
Or part of the way.
And we figured we might have 2 legs to get to the next island, I believe. Or 2. Yeah.
I'll keep the failure.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
It's on brand.
For some reason, I don't know why. Don't mind me, guys. I've been level 9 for some reason. Don't mind me.
What?
Did you go halfway through like an update and just forget?
Maybe no. I think it's when I changed it.
Did you forget to put
the ranger more? I think I fucked up.
Yeah, you haven't been the whole time, man.
Brother.
I love me too, guys. Come on now.
All right, let me see, because I just went down and looked at the levels when I hit everybody. So I
I'm 9 now for sure.
You should be 11.
9.
I know.
Bring it up.
I know.
Rick never's gonna get up.
But
Right.
I was so useful. Okay.
Yeah, and yet.
As a 9.
All right, there we go. Now Nancy is unhidden. That's why, because I saw that the last time we did combat, I was wondering why it said 10.7 as the APL, but I was so busy making everything I didn't really just sort of acknowledged it and didn't say anything. And I'm like, oh, that's why. Sure.
What's APL?
Average party
Average
level.
party level. It's fine. Yeah. Because when I make everything, it gives me all this automated data. That's sort of and I was like, oh, that's weird. But I assumed I accidentally included a wrong character or something.
Right.
But
no, it's all good.
all right, so we had a fail. Let's
Yeah.
oh my gosh, gotta actually play the game today. All right, let me.
On brand for the guy who isn't from this plane.
We did
and
have to
isn't
turn
used
the
to
map
water.
right side up for you last time.
You did.
Also, the
That
concept
is
of
so-
It's upside down again. He's used to like 3D.
Absolutely amazing. So,
Oh, that's an 8, baby.
all right.
And that's a 6.
What are you rolling for?
My hit points, man.
Oh.
I'm leveling up.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
So we attempt to navigate.
Yes. I don't know what we're just...
He's, by the way, he's much better at night when he has stars to work with, but yeah, not during the day.
Yeah.
Why would we ever travel not at night?
Yeah,
Our navigator can only navigate by the stars,
Sometimes we're
and we
in a rush.
continue to navigate during the day.
He has the one big star that he calls his best friend that he's using for guidance.
Okay.
During this
Doesn't
night,
Kaz have daylight navigation skills?
All right. So where we find yourself is navigating deep as you're moving forward. Where your ferrule lies is not foreseeing a coming storm. As you go directly into it, this is going to cause your ship as the lightning comes forth and strikes the deck, as well as riveting you into a few rocks here and there that come up that you aren't on your map. That's going to be a total of 2 ship damage.
oh,
And-
Captain, you're gonna have to roll some metal.
How many metal do we have?
You have to roll 2 metal die, like 2.
You have to roll 2d4 metal.
Okay.
Just by way of clarification, it was mentioned in one of the chats, but not everywhere else. Did we get a long rest as we started the journey, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
We start.
Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I got a 2 and a 3.
Cool. So that's 5 metal die gone, right?
No,
I
that's
rolled
just
2 dice.
that would be the casualties, right? For
Oh, right. Yeah, 2d4. Yeah, so 5 people take on
Are down.
casualties.
Yeah.
And that's minimized some by the surgeon, correct?
Correct.
You
And
can.
If
Minus
they
1.
choose to, yeah.
Do you want to save a person?
Well, let me ask the question of the trade. The number of die we can use to save people is per leg or per journey, or
It's per journey. So like we're journeying to a new or port or destination.
Yeah.
and we think this is going to be at least 2 legs to get there, right?
Correct. At least to
You
the
sound-
first island,
I'm going to sound cynical and ask who's injured.
It's just like these would be non-officers.
Right.
Because it's not 4. 4 would be officers. So they're not
Alright.
like dead. They're just like
Injured, yes.
down. Yeah.
Right.
And unable to accomplish their duties.
Yeah, the big problem is if that takes you below skeleton.
Correct. Which
What's
we're
our-
not.
Yeah.
What's our
We're at 24. We're at full. Oh no, 23. I believe we're at
23
Yeah.
minus, you said 5, right?
5.
All right. I will use normal medical techniques to heal them, bandage wounds, etc. I will not go out of my way to burn the necessary hit points, whatever it is, in order to bring them back.
Okay, so normal medical, you can only do that in dock.
Right.
Okay.
So this
So they're
is
out of commission until we either land somewhere.
Dock
Okay.
or yeah.
yeah.
So we're basically taking on 5 injured out of a total skeleton crew or a total crew of 23.
Yeah, because what
Skeleton would be 12.
so the way the mechanic assumes
Got it,
it
got
is that as a surgeon, what you're doing is keeping them from dying.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use your rank to go, but these actually get back up, if that makes sense. That's sort of the way that as a surgeon, because I believe, oh, actually no, isn't I think because you have a surgeon, does it say as a surgeon? I think you're
I'm
actually,
looking at
I'm
those
trying to
things.
Yeah.
check this because I have just the
Don't recall.
regular ship stuff. I didn't put all the
yeah.
specific.
Double check
rank
the
stuff.
surgeon rank for me.
My shucks.
A level up bonus, not a level up bonus. All right. So also, since you're in the storm, the next navigation check needs to be made with disadvantage. And so this is a wasted leg because you're lost within the storm.
Hilarious.
So the exact sentence says, during the status phase of ship combat, you can cancel a number of casualties caused by enemy cannon fire equal to your surgeon's rank each round.
Okay, cool. So every time we take it, you can use your surgeon's rank to do it.
Right. So I'm 3 surgeon, 1 cook.
Okay, so 3, so you get 2 casualties out of this. That's what that does. Okay, cool. Yeah, look those up because they all operate very differently from another. It's not like a
Yeah,
standard
I'm
way
saying
they operate.
I thought I put it somewhere, but it wasn't in ship stuff.
Yeah. So we're using a 3 Expanse from Ghostfire Gaming, some ship combat stuff, and ship rules. All right, so we do another navigation with disadvantage.
That burned a natural 20, but
We do also have a lowered DC from chat.
You're proficient in navigator's tools, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, make sure you're also adding proficiency bonus.
Oh, cool. I was just
And your rank in
Matt did
navigator.
say Matt did
Okay.
say intelligence plus rank, but I was like, let me make
Yeah.
sure that he's using
Put the skill in there. Create a skill now.
Greatest skill called navigation. So you can hit a navigation check, sir.
Shit, I gotta do
gosh.
math. Okay. So that makes it 20.
Okay, perfect. All right, then with that, you push into the Fool's Curtain. All right. Now, here, we're determined with do the navigation things of the Fool's Curtain. Where you end up as you leave the Fool's Curtain is really hard to fully navigate. And so when we talk about the Fool's Curtain, it's really about trying to get through it and not stay in it. And then you kind of end up, there's where we're going to end up, but it's not overly based on skill at this point, unless you start to, unless you can come up with a way and tell me how you would try to main it, because it is entirely heavily obscured. That we will play lightly obscured on the deck, but past the ship railings, it is heavy obscured. And it rises to such a moment where you cannot see the stars or light sources. So it's entirely diffuse light. No source able to be determined.
I have a question, Matt. I kind of wanted to ask this about the leg. Is there some way that during the leg or our last journey, we could have been working on that thing, the orb that looked like it can go in front of the prow of the ship, seeing what that does?
Yeah, I think you could definitely be working on that. I would say, yeah, per leg, we can have someone do an Arcana check.
Okay. I don't know necessarily if I want to be the person that does it, but if someone wants to stand up, I definitely have.
Sure.
I'm the idea guy. I'm like, we
Sure.
should definitely do that.
Arcana check. It's going to be a sad little 13.
Something.
Yeah. A 13, it becomes a fixed, and there is a way to orient it to the frame and general body of the ship, which you're able to do, like essentially moving the bronze fittings around to account for weight of the ship, general width and length and size of sail, and these technical things it needs to begin to do some calculations. All right. Here would be very hard to do too much with it within the Fool's Curtain. Then, so here for specifically in the Fool's Courts and do the next leg here, Navigator will roll, but this isn't so much a or is a navigation check, I guess. It just is a very high DC.
Okay. So, quick question. So you said if we could like think of anything to do to help maybe lower anything. So, among a few other things, Tronus has a Sentinel shield. Could he, while navigating, maybe stand like at a point in the ship to use that to a fuller effect while simultaneously channeling his Radiance to the Dawn to kind of like act as kind of like a lighthouse beacon and also maybe like burn away some of the fog in front of them.
You want to be on Cat's Nest 2.
That
Or no, Cat's Nest 1 because it gives a +2 on navigation.
I'll be on that one.
You said
And-
as nest, right?
When he's when he goes to make that thing, I'm going to cast Gust of Wind because I can do that
Okay.
once a day to try to clear out some of the.
Well, this is like a long. Well, yeah, because it's a longer piece, but I get what you're trying to do.
I mean, it's
here.
a minute long. I'll concentrate on it for a full minute.
Okay.
But
To kind of get a bearing, I think I can go with that. Yeah.
yeah. Just to maybe clear up the sky a little bit and around, just so that it's maybe a little easier for him to see something.
Yeah, I like that. Anyone doing anything else?
Just taking a look at my newly acquired spells here. And I got nothing, man.
Just out of curiosity, and this is a little bit retcon perhaps, but we talked a while ago about verifying or at least making sure we understood what we had in the loot cache that we picked up, like the oven lockpicks. Was that accomplished? Like I had plenty of time for identify and detect magic. Was that actually done? So we know what we have in our pockets.
Yeah, I thought we had.
It was just the two specific things that we hadn't done: the elven lockpicks and wooden ring
Yeah.
that Tronus and I have. I have the lockpicks. He has the ring. Those were the two things that we kind of like forgot last time.
Yeah.
Just making sure I got covered. Sorry to kill momentum.
All right. So is there nothing else that people have on that?
Darn it. The Phantom Steed cannot run on water. Because then I was going to like scout.
Well,
Just get a
Have
giant
this room,
seahorse.
Actually, our ship's fairly slim, so I would actually just have detect magic up just constantly if I can, because it lasts for 10 minutes and takes me 10 minutes and an action to ritual cast. So if I can do that, I would just be doing that, trying to see in case there was a magical thing we were going to run into. Pseudo magic sonar.
love it.
I was hoping Skywrite was going to let me like grab clouds or fog stuff, but it just puts the words up there. It doesn't let you use. I can't just airbend the clouds away, the fog away.
Just Skywrite, where are we?
Ooh, I Skywrite arrows to point the direction that we're supposed to be going.
Oh my gosh.
Not a
That's
GPS.
I've secretly been navigating the whole time because I'm like, Tronus, you just have to go
Like
where the
this
arrows
way,
take you."
this way.
But that star is over there.
Okay, I thought I might have put that. All right, I will make sure we get that. So in the wooden ring.
Ooh, can Ramane help us with scouting, sending his little tentacly eyeballs out and about?
Still be heavily obscured for them.
Oh, I thought he had like super sight.
So I'll say with the gust of wind, we'll kind of go ahead and do. We'll lower the DC, but try and just go ahead and make the check.
Oh yeah, we're actively invis because that's what our ship does.
That is going to be good roll, 27.
Say over the course of the leg, using the reflected light plus wind gusts to get a better sense of the water. We are able to determine as you begin to get glimpses as you clear the fog and shine the light down there of a city underneath the ocean. When you do, you see just the tinges of lights and occasionally a creature. Somewhat humanoid, sometimes with fins, moving below. Using the way they are aligned, you start to navigate by it. On the 27, it doesn't seem you're necessarily noticed. With this, the third leg, you successfully navigate through the Fool's Curtain. All right, so coming on that, finally, after this long time, you begin to have the fog get lighter and lighter. And you come into the sight of the bright sun over and see the vast amount of horizon islands known as the Shattered Teeth. Here, even from where you are, it is one you can see for many miles because it is perfectly clear past the Fool's Curtain of clouds, and just islands seem to dot everywhere, little specks. It is kind of a pirate's paradise in a way of seafaring and nautical adventure that you come forth to. So we'll see from a map here. You're up here at Urexel and have come through the curtain. And give me a d20 real quick, please.
Who? Me.
Yeah, go for it.
2.
2. Okay. So, which means you sit it this way. Perfect. All right. So, with a 2, you're going to come out essentially over here.
Nice.
Relatively.
Oh, that's cool. A lot of mountains there.
All right. The closest island that you see mostly looks volcanic in nature, though no active volcano is on it, just as a lump, and there has been moss and some type of plant life has grown upon it. Anything you would like to do?
It seems like the larger of islands in view.
There's a smaller one.
Oh,
So
okay, this one. But we can continue on. We can stop here, but where do we think people like these hide? Although we will have to resupply, and that's something we should think about. Not sure if we'll be able to do it here.
Unless they've actively chosen a smaller island, thinking that it would less likely be stopped and searched at.
That's what my thought is. Something I would do, but I don't know.
Well, do you want me to go check?
I guess we can stop and anchor. Use a break.
Yes, let's. Perhaps we could send Ramune.
A small bird, perhaps? Or Ramene's eyes would be great.
Yeah,
Either one's fine.
if Ramune is willing, of course.
Is this a completion of a journey, Matt?
Yeah.
Captain, you are able to promote someone, and if I have a vote, I would choose Ramune.
Let's go out of character for a second. What do we want to do?
Does anyone have helmsman in the rank?
No.
Because
I
he
don't.
should be a helmsman.
Kaz, I thought did, but I could be wrong.
I don't.
Yeah, I think he did.
He did? Okay.
Yeah, because that's the steering one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was doing that one. That's right.
The only
Yeah.
one that I think. Let's see here. I got captain. We got first mate. We got a quartermaster. Have a navigator. Have a helmsman.
Yeah. Do we have a
I've
master gunner?
We don't.
All right.
Yeah.
There. That's it.
And so promote just gives somebody a rank in a thing?
Correct. It gives so you can promote someone who's unranked that would make them an officer. So now Ramune is an officer.
Yeah.
One rank in master gunner.
Or can you promote somebody that's already an officer? Like give them an
Correct.
extra
You can
level
also
of it?
Yeah.
that gives that person a choice in rank. Correct.
Yeah.
So the way you rank up is by getting promotion or with the proficiency. So
But
And-
so a key thing is during ship combat, if you are an officer and you take your turn to do something that's not the ship related, but like it's like casting a spell or doing whatever, you are actively no longer doing that ship duty. So ultimately, like the ship is at a disadvantage
Yeah.
because everyone's doing their ship thing as going by and doing the thing.
right, like
And so
Belgium
the
can't-
advantage of having crew and getting a point to where you have officers to take those positions is that now the ship can run.
Gotcha.
All right. And so previously we completed one combat and also another 3-leg journey. So did we use those first two ranks?
I think
or anything?
you promoted. I feel like you promoted someone when we got to the island, but
Yeah, I think we did that.
I
Okay.
don't know who took it. Maybe I think maybe it was Kaz to get more helmsmen, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead and make the promotion. There, Captain.
So is anybody opposed to Ramune getting one? Or
No, I'm fine with that.
No, that's
Okay.
cool.
and do we want him to be Master Gunner or
Yes,
okay.
it's the only one we don't have anything else. So we put
Okay.
it.
I guess we'll give him a rank of Master Gunner.
And who's tracking Ramene's like sheet?
It's a great question.
Who was given their stats, or did Matt just put it in the?
I think I just put it in there.
Yeah, it was just in handouts.
Yeah,
Okay.
two handouts. I'm gonna send you some homework tonight, Jonathan.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm gonna send you some homework over tonight. Oh, that's gonna be.
Okay. So from where you are now, essentially, you have a fairly good sight, I'd say, of this island here, this larger one, along with the skinny addendum, basically.
Okay.
To try to find different islands, you're going to have to essentially try to navigate around, and we'll start another journey.
Right. So yeah, we could easily get to these places without really journeying I think we're going to anchor by the small island, right, and send someone out and chill for a little bit and see what we find. Anything unusual.
I think what was just said was Ramene's eyes.
Yeah.
Or Belden as a Sparrowhawk, one of the two, or both. We actually do 2 different islands at the same time if you want.
Yeah, it could make it faster. I mean, it seems like it is an island after all. It's going to take some time.
How long does your because you're just using polymorph, right?
Yeah, it's the transmuter's version of polymorph, the inbuilt one that doesn't cost me a spell. So I think it's 8 hours. But let me check that.
I don't think that's correct.
I could be wrong.
I think it just lets you cast polymorph once, without
forever.
a slot.
For your
Just
entire
once without a
life.
slot for long rest, but it has to be under a certain challenge rating.
An hour.
Yeah. So I don't know if we can fully navigate an island in an hour.
Well, I mean,
or even encircle one.
at
So
altitude, you could at least get a sense of it. I don't know.
Do you have a familiar? Because if not, I can send Atsumu.
Never saw much point in familiars. It seems like slavery with more steps, I guess.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind too, one the activities you can do once you're in an area like this is you are able to like search out for things within, I would say, that quadrant,
Okay.
so to speak. I guess not quadrant, but that area. So, for instance, if you wanted to look for other ships, you want to look for people traveling. There's things you can do to try to, so keep your mind open, just piracy and all those things.
Right. So one quite small mechanics question, which is the map has grids. Are the grids relative to distance travelable, distance traveled, or just there for shits and giggles? Like, do they mean anything to you?
Yes. So they represent 200 miles, but for our purposes, we do on legs. So generally, they're one leg.
Okay.
But it sort of depends on the wind routes here or there or how something might work. But
a grid's roughly a leg, and maybe a grid's the most we can explore in like a day, maybe something like that.
yeah, so generally speaking, since you've cut out the curtain in this grid, like you have access to what's in the grid without a navigation check. And then if you wanted to leave the grid, we'd begin the checks necessarily.
Well, do I just talking and seeing and looking out maybe? Because do I see locals fishing or anything like that makes it seem like the local, like the maybe bigger island has inhabitants in a village?
I would say if you want to begin searching for that, you can.
Okay.
That activity. So ideas like activities like that kind of bring us to something. So if that is the ship's activity, we can go ahead and roll essentially a perception for that.
Well, I think maybe after we check this island, the small island, which is I believe.
So first things first, you're saying a small island, right?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, that's where we're trying to head, right? To
Can Ramane send out the eyes or not?
I'm guessing.
Looking at the stat block, it says can see within 120 feet of them.
Yes, no.
He's the target.
He can send out the eyes.
Can't send them out.
Yeah, ultimately, but not necessarily indefinitely.
Gotcha. So maybe something in tandem would work, where maybe a familiar.
Yeah, I would say that they would give you. I think they'd give you advantage on trying to find out and search.
Okay.
If it's a perception we'll need, I'll head up to Crow's Nest 2. We get a +2 from there.
Craven, would you send out to your familiar?
Yeah.
With the eyes to go scout.
Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do the perception with advantage there.
All right.
Oof.
22.
Okay. So again, this is spending time like moving the ship around, allowing you to try to find where we need a good moment. And I'd say you see moving let's see here. Here we go. Moving about specifically down here in the southwest area between here are several fishing ships. Specifically, what look like hand-carved boats that come out. And even as far as here, though they do seem to begin to notice you, there's some that begin to gather.
How are they noticing us? We're invisible. We're the invisible stalker.
You are the... That's right. Thank you for reminding me. I got a little confused. Sorry, there's a little bit of a thing to the right side of my computer. Now I'm back. Correct. So, yeah. So, seems like they're going about their business. Being able to get in more of an idea of, like, with the familiars and such that you're able to use. They look to be largely a civilization that is made up of tieflings, almost exclusively. And they do represent several different colors as they go about fishing, and looks like some dive below to hunt more with spear.
We're going to make ourselves known to locals, or you're just going to stuck about.
I suppose that's the only way to gauge whether they're aware of the druids or not. But of the druids, did we see if there was like a mix of races amongst them, or were they like primarily one race, or because I don't remember?
All types of people.
Okay.
All types of Ukatoa-loving weirdness.
Okay. So we didn't find much on Smile Island, but there are some people down there. I think we might as well make ourselves friendly. Some obviously can do better than others.
So just from memory, the various colors of tiefling don't actually mean anything. It's not like demonic bloodlines necessarily, and they're more of a mixed bag, right?
Right. Yeah, it would be more. It'd be more akin. Not so much demonic bloodlines, but it'd be more akin to just families. A lot of times, families tend to carry pigment down, but not always.
How very
especially if they're in with each other. What?
Oh, just making a side joke. It's fine.
Okay.
Matt, now that I'm looking at the note cards, I know the original Invisible Stalker had the ability to just straight up go invisible. I don't know if this one was meant to have that same ability, because I see that just +2 stealth written as like the first ability. So
I thought we had advantage on stealth checks, but I could be wrong.
That's what I kind of thought. I didn't think it was actually invisible. I thought that was the machine ship.
Was that not the Invisible Stalker? I thought this was Invisible Stalker 2.0.
1.1.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's the partly visible stuff.
You know what? We're going with it now.
Okay.
It's the thing. Let's keep going.
Screw it. We're doing it live.
I could have sworn
We're doing it live.
I could have sworn it was the same ship, but the upgraded version.
Yes.
Was how it was initially described to us.
I had the same idea, but the stats didn't quite align with that.
Yeah.
No, because they're made by two different people.
Oh.
Who have very little creativity in names, apparently.
Hey, I know a lot of Phils, okay?
Lots of Phils. So much Phil. Phils for days.
Get your Phil.
Oh, Christ. All right, so we've got a... Captain, are we introducing ourselves?
Yes, let us be known. Can't
Are
spend
you
our
sure
glory
this is a wise idea, Captain? Because I feel like any unnecessary contact with the Legwolves is probably likely causes some kind of harm or damage, but probably not actually going to benefit us in the long term.
What
I'm
colors
not
should
questioning
we
your
fly?
judgment.
What colors should we fly, if any?
Oh, I mean, we'll fly our
What are our options?
The merchants of Darktone.
Yes.
He's gonna look through and find the prettiest looking colors, and he's gonna say, "Fly those."
By the way, Bella's
colors
whining in the
do you
background.
As I look at Craven, who's
I
the
mean,
first
he's a
mate
fan of
Core
blues
Master.
and greens and golds, so you know.
If you just hand me a bunch of strips of cloth, I'm not flying anything.
So as I was saying, the Prime Directive suggests that might be better for us not to interfere with native cultures if we don't have to, and he keeps droning on.
He's tuned you out
area.
since pretty much the get go. He's
Don't listen.
he's digging through the box of colors that we have and just picking out a flag that he thinks looks good.
Captain, that's actually the linens chest.
Well, we can go through your bed sheets next, or maybe your pillow. It's entirely up to
Nonsense!
you.
These are the colors that we fly. And he hands him something.
Yeah, so I get with the first mate, and we actually get a flag that we should fly, and we'll flag the merchant, from Darktone.
And Belton
I go
mutters
and I
to
just
himself.
stand,
No,
I
we
stand
should do
proudly by the prow of the prow of the ship, just
I think,
hands on his hips.
We came from Nico Jonas, right?
Correct.
And we set up a business to sell stuff there. So maybe a merchant flag from Nico Jonas. Actually,
My report back to Cass will be quite succinct, in fact.
yeah, we'll find that. And I just put it up.
I've got my back to them, so I don't see them, so I can't.
And
see
I'll put a little gold mini little like linen sheet under it. Like
it's one of his socks.
Did you underline it in gold? Like whatever the insignia is, you just underlined it in gold?
What you don't realize is that's like one of his socks or something. He's got he's got gold linen socks.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, so what do you do?
Well, we just find the flag for the Nico Jonas merchant, and then we're gonna, I guess, make ourselves known to see if they have find a port here, or maybe just seeing if we could hail some locals. I guess I'm not talking. I'm just throwing out. I'm the idea guy. I'm just throwing out ideas.
I'm not responsible. I just get us in trouble. That's all.
Captain, I think.
Oh, I'm standing at the prow at the prow of the ship, just
so always
very proudly
reluctant.
looking,
So,
hands on his hips.
Captain Airman, you actually remind me of a previous captain I've heard of, and great legend. In fact, if I pulled out Professor Orb, I'm sure he have lots to tell us. There's this very famous cock-up. I mean, very famous captain by the name of Morgan, who had the exact same pose as you. It was impressive. I think they're actually sculptures of him, in fact.
Yeah, I think I probably saw. I've been doing this pose since I was a wee lad, and
Right.
I probably just picked it up from seeing one of those great statues.
Right. Yes, definitely. Yes.
So,
Or maybe if your father was a drunk.
Well, that's optional.
no, my father was also a storied and famous captain.
Those things could also
Do I believe him?
simultaneously true. Simultaneously true.
I
Does
think that's
Tron-
for you to decide.
Yeah,
Thomas.
I wanna roll. I'm making an insight against Aramin real quick. I got a 24.
Just roll it. Don't tell us which it is. Whether it's deception or
Yeah,
persuasion.
I want to know if Aramin's father was actually
Yeah.
a successful captain.
You believe me?
Okay. Tron just nods in silence.
Well, God, I just do we really think he should talk?
Who? The captain? 50-50.
Draven, you're not feeling.
Depends in what capacity. If it's just introductions, yes, he is the best for that. He is the most approachable of all of us.
Captain, just yell out and see if they have a port or somewhere where we could restock or something. Just be friendly.
Of course. Why would I be anything but friendly?
And what do you do to yell out to get
Anansi, you had me put up merchant colors. Do we have any merchandise?
We got gold. We're
Yeah,
willing to
lots
buy
of gold.
stuff. And then we resell it. We're resellers.
Okay. As long as our story's straight.
That's straight. Okay.
We specifically
We
deal-
procure items from faraway lands to resell on the mainland of Wildmount.
Exactly.
That sounds extractive, but I'll go along.
Alright, so as soon as we get within yelling distance, which is. They've definitely seen us by now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ho, fair tieflings!
That's one way to approach people.
Perhaps you have a dock we could, dock at?
Oh gosh.
He's just yelling this at the top of his lungs from fairly far away.
Oh, they they stare at you just a bit. Here. Oh my goodness gracious. And as you yell, I guess they would there's a moment of them moving and they kind of clump and two ships begin coming forward here.
They're coming to guide us in.
So specifically, what you see approaching, each ship carries about 6 of these islanders. They, as they're coming, it seems like they're grabbing bits of clothes, mostly chest coverings to put on. They were mostly out in the sun, shirtless, but they kind of are dressing up a little bit more to have a conversation. As you're doing this, you see that about 10 boats start to make beelines for the shore as these two are coming forward.
10 boats?
Yeah, 10 of small ships, yeah.
To the shore, and then 2 out.
Yep. And then there's about 9 that are just sort of waiting.
Is there a sense of if or how many weapons are available on each boat? Like, do they have obvious weapons on the ships? Because, like, a little bitty scuttlecraft carrying 5 people probably doesn't have room for an arquebus or ballista or something. Like,
yeah, right. There's no ship weapons upon them.
Okay.
They don't have anything like that. It looks like mostly they've got things like spears, some short and long bows that you would kind of go for like sea hunting and that type of thing.
Okay. So no, yeah. So pole weapons at most.
Yeah, they got harpoons, tridents. Yeah.
Bows, crossbows.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that answers one question.
Captain, please refrain from addressing their lineage in further conversations. I don't know what brought you to do so when hailing them.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a bunch of them, but people typically don't say, "Hey, humans" or "Hey, elves." It just doesn't sit.
Well, present company excluded, but sure.
I shall endeavor to remember that for next time.
I don't believe you.
Essentially, he said, yeah, I will try to remember, but he's not making any guarantees.
Just prove them wrong, You always want to be in the right, right?
We're the right, so we're going right. As they approach further, the two ships, you can begin to clearly see that they, especially the head of them, are intricately carved. Each one bearing a mouth carving that is wide with sharp pointed teeth. Noticeably, within the mouth, one has an eye carved, and the other one has what appears to be a severed arm carved in there.
Ask him how fishing is.
Do any of these boats, mouths and arms and eyes, carry the iconography of Ukatoa? Is it the same shit?
I would say from what you've seen, it doesn't look like that. No.
Okay. Mouths and arms and eyes.
So,
As soon as they get,
who are you fools who've made it through the curtain?
we are merchants from. And he kind of leans over with his ear to somebody.
I said, Nicodemus.
Nicodranas, yes. Sorry, I not originally from Nicodranas. Forgot where we were sailing from. Anyways, we were recently from Nicodranas. Merchants looking to buy wares to sell again.
And those are some fine-looking boats. You must have great woods craftsmen.
Yes, those are very well crafted. In fact, those are absolutely gorgeous. The detail of the viscera of that arm is just great.
Looks down. Thank you. I'll make a persuasion check.
Hey, I helped.
That is a
It's a good
natural
bit.
20.
Oh!
Plus 9 for 29.
I see I helped.
Thank you. So, well, I think I told advantage. Thank you. Well, my name is Zeri. These are. I'm leading this expedition of food. You said you came to trade. No one comes to trade here.
That is exactly why we came here. You can offer goods that nobody has seen before. That's what we endeavor to find.
The unknown.
By the way, Belden quietly sneaks below decks and becomes less visible.
No one wants to see that guy.
Do you swear that you will do no harm while on our islands?
Of course.
Could you promise the same? We do promise to protect ourselves, but we would never
Yes.
start anything.
Of course. As long as you mean us no harm, we will mean you no harm.
Of
On
course.
Melora's name.
Melora. Yes. We drink upon the seas. And in that, we will bring you to our village. We call it the Happy Rest.
The Happy Rest. That sounds absolutely delightful. My good sir.
May I come aboard then?
Of course, of course.
Zorar?
Kraven, go grab the plank.
Zorar, right?
I go.
Yeah. Zaral.
I help set up a plank to get, I don't know what the height difference of our ships is, or if a plank is I set up the appropriate thing to allow them to come forward.
It
Yes,
can't be
that's
low.
good.
Whether
a
it's a
rope
plank
ladder,
or not, I
scurries
said
up
I
very
said a
quickly.
plank. So
Yeah.
whatever.
The plank
Whatever
falls
happens.
into the sea.
Yeah.
Like,
He scurries up and he brings with him, as he does, he takes this very large cup that looks like it's been carved out of bone. And but with it being carved entirely out of bone, it's still about 12 inches across. And it picks up some of the seawater, holds it perfectly so it doesn't spill as he scurries over and comes up. And you can see it's very muscular and lithe. There are what look like burned scars in the shape of essentially imagery, like they're tattoos, but they've been burned into his skin.
there's imagery that.
Wow, that was quite an impressive display. You didn't spill a single drop of that.
Captain, what kind of skull is that?
I very much would like to know that as well. That is quite large.
This
Was it perhaps from a dragon?
no,
Giant.
this is a turtle,
Oh.
Nice.
a turtle skull.
Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I'll go out, hold my hand to shake his.
Shakes goes,
Captain.
I've seen many. We have tales of those of you who've come here. Just please respect what we have. It's important to us. We will give you what aid we can. We don't
Of
have your
course.
types of ships, at least in our island. I know all around there are those who have made their homes, but we do welcome travelers. You may stay one night. Tomorrow you must go.
Very well. Let's make it a memorable night then, shall we? By the way,
And
my
he-
name
he-
is Captain Armin Costavo, and my crew.
And Gustavo, then it is you who drink for your crew and swear them to the promise. As he lifts up this huge cup of water.
Given that I'm hiding in the mid decks, Arcana check, does it feel like that's like weird or mystical in some way or bad as an idea goes?
I mean,
You're just listening below that.
I mean, I'm trying to be like close, like in the shadows and whispering, but
yeah.
not visible.
I mean, it's hard because I mean, I will give you just passive Arcana. It's like that could have something like without being able to see what is being handed over.
right.
It's,
So without
it's a very
without
difficult-
being there to cast detect magic,
yeah,
I'm
like
just
he's not
letting the
using an
captain do stupid
incantation
shit.
or something.
Okay.
So.
So it's not. It could be passive magic. It's maybe the event or the equipment, but it's not active magic. He's casting a spell.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm just thinking Kellen's bard with that one cup.
All right, I'll go ahead and take the turtle thing, and before I go to drink it, I ask him, do I drink all of this, or do I drink part of it and you drink part of it, or I don't want to offend you. I just want to make sure I'm
Mhm.
doing the custom correctly.
You drink to make your promise. I drink to accept it. Drink fully.
All
As
of
you
it?
can.
All right.
As you
And so he goes and chugs the thing of seawater.
can. Oh my God.
As the captain drinks, muttered below his breath, but within the captain's earshot, he hears, "Dumbass."
I grabbed my water skin right away, like of fresh water.
So Captain, you drink it, and it is purely fresh water. And in fact, you have advantage on your next roll. Well, actually, you have inspiration from drinking the water. Is what you have.
Cool.
But
I then
you will-
hand it back to him.
takes and accepts. Goes, good. Follow us. We will lead you. You will want to stay close. Oh, sorry. You want to stay close. We have several traps. you will stay with my workforce. It will be up to our leader if you were to be accepted into the village proper, though.
Does he drink to accept? Do I notice that?
He does.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
drinks it as well.
I like the clear formalities.
Very well. Lead on.
Cap, do we all go or just some of us?
We all go.
Okay, let me put my hood on.
At least
I don't
the
want them to-
officers.
Well, that's even worse.
No, we'll leave Ramune. Ramune can stay on the ship.
Belden snaps a finger and becomes an elf.
What kind of good looking elf? You old elf?
Good. Okay.
For how long?
Disguise self lasts for an well. Fuck it. Let's not do that. Actually, It won't help
You
me
keep
at all.
picking these things that you think last
Yeah,
way
I know.
longer than they
I
do.
know. It's been forever since I actually read a fucking spell book, so my bad. All right,
You had to pick the spells, sir. You should have read them.
correct. If only I had. So Belden will wrap his cloak around him so he's deeply hooded, and walk as if diseased, so nobody actually gets too close. Because he's fucking hideous.
Kaz, come on down. You've been hiding up there for far too long. Let's go. We've got people to meet.
Let's see, there's like a whole bunch of tieflings and nicely carved boats. We're about to go to that.
Okay. Then you push through and follow as they begin leading you. As you do, the other boats part that had stayed behind and they begin flanking the ship, surrounding it as they sail, or not really sail, they paddle alongside and into kind of where the isle, it gets very narrow, and they come around you to try to kind of guide and make sure that your ship particularly moves correctly. Do we lose Cass? He was here.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We're just about to have a helm check there.
So, clarification: are the boats moving as if to flank, as if to guide, as if to, I don't know, box us in?
They're so small. I'm not worried about these.
I think it was to guide.
Remember, our ship's not that big.
I don't disagree, but there's a ton of them. A ton of them.
Yeah, I mean,
So they have to be showing a pattern of some kind.
It's hard to tell. I think what they're. I guess make an insight check.
I believe that they hold us no ill will.
I got shit. 5. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Pulling you in, you see where there is like this mostly where the ships have come to, they like go onto the sand of the island, and then that is where they keep them. You do see that you've been led by some a combination of what looks at first like rocks, but coming out and almost piercing the water, you see crenellations and marks that give the look, some of like claws, like calcified crab claws, and others like teeth that seem to go way below the surface than you can see.
How big are these claws or teeth, roughly?
Some come as much as 15 feet out of the water and extend some ways down. They can be like 7 feet wide.
7 feet wide.
But these are close to the shore, right?
Yeah, closer as they're guiding you around them. For sure, like, here the rocks are talking about. They see more like hot calcified pieces of creatures.
Cap, take a look at that.
Yes, these are the traps that they'd said that they would guide us through.
Right, but they're not natural exactly. There's something more.
Well, yeah, I think that's
Yes,
that
their
is
craftsmanship is almost unnaturally good.
I realize you're not from this place, but those are definitely natural and from here.
But you said they were not normal.
They're not normal. That doesn't mean they're not natural.
So crabs that size are not typically. If it showed up in Nicodranus, the entire city would show up to fight, roast, or otherwise pick it through.
See, in my experience, it's crabs better boiled with a variety of seasonings and
Right. Let me ask you a dumb
vegetables.
question, Cap. What size pot would you need to actually boil that crab?
I mean, some pretty large ones, but
Like the
you
size
know,
of a
you
ship,
just
right?
you
Like a
put it,
boat?
you break it up.
What do you mean no?
Captain, do you recall the prior guardian of Dark Toe, Idoc? I do not believe you have a pot big enough to fit a creature of his size, which is what these body parts appear to be similar in size to.
Of course, I remember Idoc. He was a very large.
Dragon turtle.
Yes, a dragon turtle. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Remember what happened on
Anyways.
his birthday, by the way?
What?
Remember what happened on Idoc's birthday?
Of course, it was a great party. There was a large cake. How could I forget?
You've answered my question.
Oh man. Okay. So
Anyhow.
well, I guess we got to get to shore. And we'll talk about this later.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we will.
So, as they push you forward and they themselves put their boats under the sand, they kind of signal that you could either anchor or moor your boat to one of the large things, unless you want to shrink your boat as you get to shallow areas. Up to you.
I don't think we want to
Maybe
do
let's
that.
not shrink the boat. Let's
Yeah.
just do. We're just a normal
Normal
ship.
boat.
Let's go ahead. Just drop
Yeah.
anchor.
Anchor at sea and then tender in, please.
Yeah.
And as we get on our little dinghy to row in, I stand on the front with my signature pose.
Like Washington across the Potomac?
Yeah.
There
Exactly.
Yep.
Does Armin write in a journal every day as a captain?
I mean, not that you've seen, but he's got a bunch of just random shit.
You're
in his-
telling me Armin doesn't have a captain's log?
Oh, he does. You just haven't seen him writing it. He's got his own quarters, man.
You gotta find this shit. Operation Captain's Diary.
My goodness.
I mean, rough, but okay. Captains are captains, right? Some have a reason to be busy at course all the time. Not all. Some do.
All right. So I guess we're supposed to stick to with the guys that we brought us in. So
Right.
So
So,
go
you
there.
ship, you go. Do you want to take your own boats, or will you have them row you in, like take you in bit by bit?
We'll take our own rowboat.
I'm assuming it has a rowboat.
yeah.
I assume we've got a rowboat.
Tender, yeah.
Yeah, you have landing boats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What kind of ship doesn't have a landing boat?
Yes.
Or
As we row in, we make the captain do it for sure.
No, I'm standing on the front.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, I guess I'll do it.
I know I'm rowing. Part of it.
Yeah, and you're definitely doing it.
I'm kind of just expecting everybody else to row, and I'm just standing majestically at the front.
Oh man.
If you want, I could raise a wind behind us to make it faster, but you guys seem to be doing perfectly fine by yourself.
I definitely time with some of the waves to try and knock the captain down. Like, just an extra forceful pull to, like, cause it to kind of skip a little. Making sure the captain's on his toes since he's being ridiculous at the prow.
Do I need to make a roll for that?
A deck save.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Looking stoic as ever.
No justice, none.
He loses the post for a half second, but he quickly gets right back to it. At one point, he holds his hand up above his eyes and very high elbow as he pretends to be looking in.
Underneath his cloak, Belden looks over at Craven, noticing the row movement, and gives him a wink, like, "You sure? Should we? Should we not?"
Well, I think we should think about what we're gonna get or what information we should be looking for when we talk to these people. Obviously, they keep very interesting surroundings. I don't know how far I want to poke into their influence, but it would be nice to see what other islands are taking on big ships where others may hide or try to disrupt, I guess, society or whatever the hell.
I don't know that we should express to them that we're looking for people hiding in the island of their home.
Yes, of course. We just want to know about the other islands.
We need to make sure not to pressure them too heavily that they become suspicious and potentially warn the other islands.
Yeah. So being brought onto here, you see that there are two what seem to be main and very separate areas where people live. There's the one you've been led on to. Hung in the trees above, these vast palm trees are essentially this almost an altar or symbol within the air. There is a circle of thorns and flames that is depicted by wood put in with what looks like red plants and reddened bone of different creatures, even fur and such things. At the center of the circle is woven out of branches is a clenched fist that points up, strong and defiant. From there are protruding outward from the fist to the fiery ring are sharp, jagged lines of branches that are tied together almost like thorns or spikes. And you see occasionally whenever someone, this is like in the center of both the shops and huts that are around here. The huts themselves all are on poles that stand up above the sand or ground. And as the villagers pass under it, if they have cost, you see some actually avoid passing under it. Whenever they do, they raise a fist and punch themselves in the chest hard. And then continue.
And, sorry.
On the other side, where there's, again, what one could call loose domiciles. They're more like lean-tos and such things of leaves are more like what seems to be somebody found a really big piece of bark or tree that had maybe driftwood, and they kind of put it on and very lazily carved two trees with a hammock in between them upon it. And whenever somebody comes near that, they will turn to the other settlement and give them the middle finger. But looking at them, they laugh. They seem to have, as much as their stuff is very like lean-to and disorganized, they do seem to have things like look like something that they're distilling and fermenting and making alcohol. They have in their part of the where the waters go out and in streams and such. They do seem to have some nets, but it's very passive catching of things. Putting forth into out of these two, there are what seem to be gathering areas. There are several large tables, as well as what essentially look like people who would set up to trade. Still tieflings, and where they may have bowls or spears or the like. And you can see as this is going on, some people bring fish or art or other types of things, just things that they have found that they think of value around the island or they've scavenged.
Oh, this is a very interesting place. Is Zara with us at all, or no? Is he like?
Yes, he's with you,
Okay.
he's kind of kept you into this working area.
So, what is with these different communes that you have here? I'd like to know more about the culture you have.
We follow Abhadra. Those kind of clears his throat as he's thinking of things he'd like to call them. Others follow Alice.
Is it a friendly rivalry or something that gets violent?
Depends on the day.
I hope today is a good day.
Oh, interesting.
And what would you say is the main city that you spoke of earlier?
Oh, he puts a little note that goes, this is a communal area. We do deal with each other there. That is where I spoke. You are guests of Abhadra.
But not guests of Lace, correct?
No. Not unless they give you such leave. And
So
thus,
we
since
should-
you are of one, you may not come into the area of both, as he points to the tables and such things. He goes, however, we do at times go back to our city. What we have gathered. And if you wish to go there, we could probably make arrangements, depending if that is something you seek, to go to the main island.
Where's that in respect to here?
It goes a bit north, so you've come more to the southern part of that quadrant, that tip. You see, with the larger one that you had access to, it kind of points to that way. There's several volcanoes that rise up.
Oh, there. Gotcha. That makes sense. Probably beautiful, and usually plants near the volcanoes very abundant, but it's also beautiful here.
It's easier to fish. So it's tradition. Whenever a party comes out, when there's disagreement, those who have it is common to rebel against the leadership by leaving Abadra's camp and going over to Alice.
How would you describe the ones that follow Elise?
The full name, they say, Arlis, the god of fucking off instead of working.
No. Fair enough. Makes
I'm not
sense why they
familiar
weren't
with
out.
that god.
It makes sense why they weren't out in the sea.
Yes. Well, Abadra is she who takes no shit.
Shit, I like it.
I
Two,
can see
get
the
behind.
similarity.
Yeah, it's like a duality. Anyways, this is nice, so we should definitely look into trading. But I would be interested to go to the city. What do you guys say, gents? It's one night after all, Captain. You said try to make it the best night, right?
Exactly. So, perhaps before we revel, should we see if we could do a bit of business?
Why not? Let's come to the table.
Yes.
Amongst those who take no shit and are all about working, I imagine y'all have some serious goods to trade.
Indeed, and I wouldn't say it's more about working. It's just we are here to get the job done, and work first, play later.
Right. But the work must be prodigious in that case. So what are you producing?
Of course, we gather food. We gather the fish and bring as much as we can back to the city. However, there are those. You saw the rocks as we come in, and you assume that they're not quite rocks.
Yes.
That is very useful. We can take it and have learned to make quite many things. The issue is it can also make things that help when we relax too much.
Oh,
What do you mean by relax too much exactly?
permanent relaxation.
You mean death?
No, they make drugs.
Drugs. Okay. That explains some other aspects of your society.
Yes, it's entirely different when we're back in Elm Island, but here it's sort of what has developed, a tradition over many years. But
Why? I don't think we'd actually want to buy or sell your drugs, per se. That sounds like a terrible waste of life, all in all.
I'm
So
sorry,
fish?
your island. Is this not your island, then?
this is where we come to hunt and produce. The next ones come.
Your fleet is quite large to feed. Are you feeding those creatures that are rocks and yet not rocks?
No. We gather, we preserve, we smoke the fish, and bring much of it back.
For a fleet so large, you must have quite the population.
Indeed. It is quite large where we are.
And is the rule of one night stay, is that something that we'll find across many islands?
No. I would say here, generally yes, I guess. We all have the rule of, most of us believe within the islands have the hospitality of one night, no questions. Beyond that, something is owed or must be negotiated. It is we're all so close together, it is a way to maintain peace. That we all accept travelers as long as they leave the next day. We make sure that none who travel die amongst our people, so none can be accused of murder or anything like that. It keeps us from evolving into wars among resources and keeps trade open.
And did you called us fools when we first came through. I can't imagine there are many travelers that you aren't actually familiar with. If it's just other peoples from the islands, are those even considered travelers?
Yes, those traveling from island to island, the different civilizations here. There's tribes, there's colonies. It seems like there are more islands every day, to be honest with you.
And more people populating them.
Indeed. But I mean, I say that, I don't know precisely. I've not seen them all, nor do I wish to.
You said colonies. Is that suggesting that more peoples have come through the Fool's Curtain and have started taking up space amongst your islands?
They may have. Again, we don't ask much. Mostly we only have contact from our trips like these. Within our city itself, no one really comes. It's a bit too hot. We nestle it between the volcanoes. Our people also born with a certain resistance to the heat. Makes it a bit more tolerable for us.
Is that why a number of you were lounging about without shirts on earlier?
It's easier.
Well, if it's more comfortable for all of you, we do not wish to impede on that.
Whatever works for you. I was like, you don't have to be so formal. We keep traditions here. Our city is of stone and mortar, but this is sort of a, I don't know, primitive retreat, you could say, when we do this. That's to do with reconnecting to the islands. One can get very disconnected amongst the sulfur and smoke. At any rate, you asked of what we make. Several things. Like I said, if you want, you can talk to our Lisa's people over there for the certain products, but here, which have their own use. They do can be used as medicine, and they are processed back in the town, in our city. But we have made weapons, jewelry. He goes, actually, and he takes out of his pocket a necklace of what looks like these calcified remains. He goes, this is, we shave it off and we're able to reconstitute it. And you see, like, there's different shapes carved within it. Because if in battle, we often wear these around our necks. If we break them, they shatter, whether it is hunt or amongst another. It makes the air nearly like a shield.
Hmm.
And
That sounds
what
impressive.
these mechanically do is only one of these can be worn, but it is a necklace of this calcified material that, when broken, you can break it as a reaction and to being hit, and it does increase your AC by 5.
Oh.
That is incredible.
It's yes, it's much like the points to those things we tried to clear out once. You can take pieces of them, but you can't entirely destroy it. And there's a point to where it will fight back in different ways, but it seems like in a lot of what we do, you can capture their determination to exist.
Huh. That's interesting.
Well, I'm definitely interested in acquiring at least one of these before we leave. What else do you have? You mentioned there was. I guess what else is there other than that?
I thought you were going somewhere with it.
I was, and then I forgot what I was going to do. And I'm like, I give up.
I guess one question we should put forth is: do you even trade in coin, or
We can't
strictly in
use
goods
it's
and?
fine. We
Okay.
accept gold and such. We tend to trade in goods here, but again, to the traveler, we show hospitality. That's our way, especially here. And it would be in the city if anyone made it there.
And
That would be
through
nice
the-
too.
You asked what else we had. This actually leads you over to someone, a hut that has like a large area around there where nobody is, and you see like the occasional what looks like a sculpture of like a crab or a monkey. And he calls from there as he goes, Arif! Can you come out for a moment and bring one of the products?
Is this a sign of carcinization?
No, petrification. And person was like, what? Oh, no, travelers! And you see this nearly purely albino tiefling come out. And they carry a glass vial with them. You can explain. It goes, hiya. He goes, indeed, we use the techniques of the water here. It's amazing quality, especially as flows between the isles. And of course, the creatures here to produce this. Throw this at an enemy and make sure that it doesn't hit you, because it kind of goes in an area. It likes to spread itself around, actually. But it likes to make others its creatures.
You go, Ryan?
What would you what would you
What is that?
trade that for?
It wasn't me.
That was me.
What questions you have? It was yes.
Wait, what does the substance do exactly? You said it spreads around.
Spreads around and makes you like the creatures.
Oh, okay.
So roughly, this would cause someone to become petrified, turned into this calcified coral.
Oh, you said make you like the creatures? I thought you meant like a love potion. like a contact love potion. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Also, how much gold worth do we have on the ship?
I mean, we definitely have 4,500 gold and whatever gold you started with. I think there's some more as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but like we have like I'm not taking into account of like the diamonds we have in gold and like all of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
material.
I mean, like just straight up coin.
If
Yeah,
only someone
like-
was like keeping ship's books in this particular adventure, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I have it. It's just like so we have
Like, everything we picked up,
there are
have it all?
individuals that's like in loot that we've put out, and then for like the last big thing we got literally was the 4,500.
So you have books for us? You're
Yeah.
keeping the total?
Yes,
Cool.
it hasn't been much, but like I said, we have the most recent was the 4,500 gold, which we haven't divvied up.
I want to see double entry accounting and at least one tax
Oh, no.
audit every year. That's all.
Oh gosh, I'll send you the spreadsheet.
Paperwork.
Yeah. But we haven't got a ton of gold.
So, how much of this glass vial of petrification water do they have? Like a couple of vials or like a lot?
I mean, you can ask. They have a few that they would probably go forward. Depends what I guess you would say. It depends what you have.
And again, from under the hood, at what price would you part with these particular vials? Perhaps we're talking a few coppers, a few silvers, or a couple gold.
We're talking gold. We could probably let go of 2 of them.
Yeah.
About 600 each.
600 gold each.
Yes.
What about raw materials like diamonds or even healing potions?
We have raw materials. We can talk, and we can give you more. Again, gold is shared among all who have come out. We all make lots of money, have a little more to go back with, but product to trade helps our people overall. So we're much more amicable to that. And otherwise, we'd be expected to come back with weapons to load up to a ship who might go to another island to get products. But we bring back other interesting things from traders. We definitely have more leeway to give you things.
So we should have, I mean, a few more. If we want to trade, I don't know if we really want to trade potions, but if we could trade some diamonds, if you guys were interested. Otherwise, we can just do gold. We haven't picked up much. I mean, we just went to the Ladies Island. That's pretty much it. So.
Well, I mean, we do need to also, act under our pretense of we're merchants. We need to buy some other things as well. So I'm saying this out of character for the record.
Right.
All
I mean,
right,
we
as
do
we
have
take this,
that,
let's
yeah.
go ahead and go to our break here because we've kind of
Okay.
gone past
Oh,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Let's, All right. I don't know if I did my math wrong on that time, because that seemed to go by way fast.
Mhm.
Okay, upon the island, what would y'all like to do?
Given that we know the Padra side of the conflict, bounce wherever it is, and the Elise side being not too far away, is it possible? Is there a clear way we can go talk to the quote-unquote druggies fucking off? Like, could we actually cross the Rubicon and have that conversation or no?
So it's not so much crossing, but he will signal for to have one of them basically come talk to you, where you can go over there for a moment enough to have a conversation to possibly negotiate to come over.
Okay. So it's a possibility. Cap, I'm not sure if you actually want to cross sides or otherwise spoil any current relationships, but has the possibility occurred to you that maybe we should hear some other perspective on this particular island chain? Maybe the ones who are right over there, maybe, and could, like, give us some insight, or no?
That is a wonderful idea.
It's just an idea. It's not wonderful. I mean,
I believe it is wonderful. So, how about you and
how about just me?
Kraven.
That's fine. No, it's
you
fine.
and Kraven?
No, it's fine. How about you and the entirety of the ship just stay here? I'll go just ask on behalf. And again, I'm not pretty, but I can talk. I'm gonna go ask on behalf and see.
Are you sure you don't want somebody else to go with you?
If I get in trouble, I'm a bird, and I get out of here.
Okay, Bird.
Anon, see, this is not the first time you've seen this magic trick.
Yes.
Do I need to present you with like a handkerchief or an orange before you follow it, or no?
No, just don't run like a T-Rex. That's all.
That's a lot more different. Well, that's okay, fair. Speaking to the emissary of the Apadra clan, Zero, if his name was.
Yeah.
If you'll excuse me for a hot minute, I'm going to ask some awkward questions. I'm pretty sure you're right about these folks over here, but I'm just going to, verify some assumptions if that's okay with you.
Yes. Any questions I can answer?
Well, let me. Well, the joke is the horse's mouth, but it's usually not the mouth that talks. I'll just go ask,
Okay.
and then Belden will walk to the central point, the indicated safe place, and motion towards the Elise side of the equation, not the Apadra side, and just sit there or stand there for a minute with a full cloak on.
One comes over. You see her skin is she's more violet, with bright blue eyes. She sits kind of lazy sundress made of essentially palms, and she goes, so you wish to entreat? And she seems a little out of it. Yeah, what do you like?
Well, less entreating particularly, but more curiosity. I'd love to get a sense, if you don't mind, if you're willing to share with me your personal and deep experience of what your culture is like. Like, what kind of people are you? Again, we're off world. That's the wrong word. We're off islanders, just looking for a perspective on what your experience has been so far. It sounds like the other folks over there, the Apadra types, they're kind of uptight in their own way. You all seem a little more chill.
He sips some beverage. Yeah. It, it's kind of a silly tradition. We're all fine. These two gods don't exist, at least outside of here. And we all come together, and there is a leader as we all begin our harvesting. And as often happens, eventually they maybe push too hard on us. In this case, they decided that we need to work until nightfall. This is not normal.
Right. I mean, home gods are typical. That's not unusual for lots of places. But when you say push hard, what do you mean? Like, they ask you to work longer hours past midnight, or what?
Wait, past because typically usually maybe 10 hours after we wake up, but they were pushing for 12 and 14.
What is to your benefit, though? Like, why would you want to work that long?
You have to have this done.
How are you? Again, not to be too egregiously in your world, but like, what's your benefit? Like, how do they pay you?
Oh, we all come together. Every citizen of the elemental city comes down in their turn, and we harvest and we bring back what we have come. And it has become tradition in a sense of, should some laborers disagree with how hard it is that we are being made to work, we rebel and form the Ansel camp. It doesn't happen every time.
Right.
But it does enough, and we make other things. We still gather. We still have fish we are smoking. We're just doing it a little differently, and there's more of a camp. Actually, we are labeled, but then we go about the process of making what will be turned into medicine back home, but is a lot of fun while we're here.
I see. Well, that makes a lot of sense. This elemental city, is that the place between the two volcanoes? The place that's too hot?
Yes.
Yes. So you're all from the same place, right?
Oh, yes.
That makes sense. All right. The thing that you guys are harvesting that's a lot of fun here, I imagine it's some very primitive native medicine. What are its benefits?
Back when we get back, it can be processed with what we have back home to make several remedies of sickness, disease, all types of ailments, including from the basilisks, especially the basilisks.
The basilisks? Those are the lizard type things with the...
This looks at you strangely. I want to say lizard, no more sea serpent.
Sea serpent, okay. So I've only heard of basilisks in books and very bad illustrations, some very strange drawings of like lizards with like weird eyes.
I see. One traveler once called them a suavane.
Suavane. I have to look that up later.
They're mostly are on the sea floors.
I see.
When our city, one reason we call it the elemental city is that we make peace with the four elements. There is volcanoes,
Right.
and then we've
That's
dug
fire.
into the earth
Right.
itself.
Right. And then water's obvious. Yep.
Well,
What
the
about
water
land?
actually, we go so deep as to go through the bottom of our island.
How does one go below the bottom?
You just dig deep enough. She doesn't seem to understand why that's confusing.
Okay.
The GM knows why that's weird.
What
This woman does not.
What do you get when you go below the bottom? Does Earth become air? Earth become fire? Earth become wind? What is that?
It's water beneath, the fresh water.
So there's water underneath the rock, right?
yes.
I see.
And that is there where we can find pearls of beauty and power. And among them are the basilisks.
I see.
And she shows you, as you're talking, she kind of looks around a little bit lazily and goes, there, and a few things into her camp. There's this there's like essentially a painting with pigments of this large serpent-like creature riding the waves, with large teeth and like yellowed skin.
Obvious or not obvious? What is it?
It doesn't necessarily look like something you've seen before.
Some water lizard.
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating, actually. I don't mean to trouble you, but these gifts that you've gotten, these substances that you've pulled from the depths, do you sell them or no?
In the city, yes.
Is there a going price for these things?
I think so. I'm not involved in it.
Right. So in the
But,
city, we could probably buy some, but out here on the reach, probably not so much. Yes.
I could show you where to go below if you wish to do it. We don't have the medicine to fix it, nor do we bring it. So we don't go down there. But if you wanted to, I could show you where on this side you could go.
Oh, interesting. All right. Just curious. Always curious. Well, if that's the case, I think perhaps. Well, first and foremost, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today and understanding your worldview.
See, if
in
you
life
want,
and-
you can ask more about the pearls. It's up to you.
Does it sound like they're like available for sale or secret?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
You're better off to go get it and maybe to the town.
I'm saying if you wanted more information about them. I didn't know if you got everything you wanted about the pearls.
Well, I think from the out of character perspective, it's unlikely or maybe a reach to get those at this point. So given we're giving the island a sort of a topical view, we're not getting deeply involved in their inner conflict, socially otherwise, probably not worth the bet. But man, anybody against? Jalen, you want to fight me on that one?
I mean, we don't want to spend too much time here, and I don't think we really need motes of power. But it is interesting to note. It's not like our ultimate goal, but it also could be something that the people we're looking for may be interested in. So,
Yeah.
I think either way, it'd be nice to go to the city.
It could be useful later. Also, like the basilisks themselves sound fascinating, but that's more long term. So yeah, I think in character, I think that's plenty of useful knowledge, which I deeply appreciate, honestly. And I feel like I know a lot more about your civilization and lifestyle at this point, but I don't know that I want to necessarily go deeper into the basilisk pearl water lizard sort of ecosystem. So if you don't mind, hell, let me at least give you something for your troubles, if you don't mind. I'll just hold out a single platinum piece and just hand it over.
Thank you. Very good. She smiles at you. And she will pull out, she pulls out a pearl here. She goes, this is one of them. It's large, like 3 inches in diameter.
A 3-inch pearl. Fantastic. That's great. Belden will pick it up and look at it for a second and put it in his pocket and say, well, that's very.
She's not giving it to you. She's holding it out to show you.
Oh, she's not.
She did not hand it to you.
Just out of curiosity, and I it gets the better of me sometimes. What would that cost me exactly?
Even to get no, sorry. This one is not for sale.
Well, that's fine. Does it have any obvious magic aura to it, or no?
I think you can Arcana check.
You got it. Neat. And I'll burn the inspiration for doubles. Advantage. Go. Yep. 28.
28. Looking at it, it is very obviously arcanely significant. It has a great deal of energy around it. Almost seems to pull energy in a little bit. With a 28, you're fairly convinced it would function like a pearl of power. It could hold spells to be used later.
If you don't mind my being offensive about it, that particular rock seems pretty impressive. Would you part with it for some price, or is it yours forever?
Kind of looks. It's She thinks for a second. 2,000 gold.
2,000 gold. That, man, that's a whole lot of coin. And Belden clearly like shakes around his pockets and looks to see how much jingle he has at the moment.
How much does it? Yeah.
Well, that's something. You know, I think it's a fanciful, gorgeous, beautiful sort of a thing, and I can see why it'd be so desirable. But I think never mind. You never asked. It's fine. And Belden walks away like, want it but don't want it, but like he's like like a kid in the candy store. He's like, yes, no, as he walks away.
Very good. Right. And that she'll go back as well. And I would say from that, it seemed like it had like a lot of like personal significance to her as well. Something about her culture, the way things work, maybe back home. Where was that to you? It's a raw item. It's probably something more to her.
Right. I think from Belden's narrow perspective, probably to her it seemed probably offensive that he was debating whether or not to pay her for that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So Belden comes back to the full crew and starts laying out the mindset, at least the viewpoint of the other half of the equation, the least side and their general sense, especially because this is a single sort of a culture. They have two sort of points of view or two perspectives in the culture. One of which is like the push hard side. One of them is more like the go and get along sort of perspective. And he tries to explain, when not in earshot of the other side, how this whole balance works.
It's a non-hostile mutiny to fight back against those that are pushing to work too much.
Well, there are in fact cultures I've read about a long time ago that have a peaceful transition of power between who's in charge and who's not in charge, but it's not common in modern societies. Strange, right? No one has to die. So we still have a few open questions, if you don't mind. One of which is, do we go to their volcanic city, the hot city, where it's really uncomfortable for most? Do we wander across other islands? Do we get a sense of how much of this island chain they control or explore? We don't quite know how broad their footprint is at this point.
Well, the explanation given earlier was that we have the single night. I don't know how far we could actually travel or explore. So if your idea is to have this be as a home base, so to speak, we would have to negotiate what service we would need to provide to continue our stay. If the basilisks are something that they kill and harvest, or if it's somehow a symbiotic relationship that they've developed and are able to gather materials from without dying or killing the basilisks, then we can't be of much help there. But if it's just hunting, I feel like that's something within our purview that we could provide.
Well, I think the better question, maybe this is for the captain, is not why are we here exactly? We have the why do we go here? But is this what we're looking for? These semi-peaceful cultures, and he looks around like he's talking about like fucking aliens. Like, these cultures are not necessarily evil or bad. They're not obviously tied to the druids that we've been dealing with. But the broad question is, does this advance or detract from our greater purpose? I think the question, and I'm perfectly fine with both of these cultures, is are they even players in this game, or are they just left out in the corner to fend for themselves? This doesn't feel like Ugatoa territory, or definitely not druid problems.
I definitely think we should find out if anybody else has traveled through. Because
that's a fair catch, yes. We haven't asked them whether or not they've seen others like us or similar.
I could potentially... I am still here, yes. I could potentially attempt to locate whoever it is we're looking for, if I know of them.
Yes, Tronus, we're aware that your silence does not negate your being. You needn't remind us that you are in fact still here.
Yeah, in fact, you're not small. It's not easy to hide you, in fact, so it's like kind of an well...
Yes,
I have a better
perhaps,
chance under your coat.
Yeah, perhaps you were the one that they saw back on the island.
No, I think...
I mean, you are quite large. It would make sense.
You're not small. I agree with that perspective, for sure.
Anyway, we definitely do need to conduct some sort of business as far as acquiring goods that we could potentially sell that could be seen as, cargo to sell back at Nicodranus.
Sure. The Pearl of Power I saw, that felt too personal.
Yes.
I feel Go ahead.
I was thinking perhaps, maybe a couple of those necklaces.
The
They've got
vials.
those petrified creatures. Perhaps we could sell them as art pieces. I'm sure they make some unique bits and baubles that we could get that we could sell.
Petrified creatures is a bit of a reach, maybe. I don't usually
They look
take
all
my
the-
desiccated shit
we
and sell
don't
Megadron.
we
It's not
don't tell
necessary.
we don't say that they're petrified animals. We just say they're finely made statues carved on a exotic island.
Imagine for a moment that the average person evaluating your very expensive art can actually figure out what the fuck that is. Like with a spell or something. And they could be like, that's not magic. That's horseshit. Doesn't sell
Well,
well.
we're not saying it's magic. We're just saying it's a very well made statue. We're not
As-
selling it to other
You're
people like
saying the
us.
horse shot really well.
We're selling these statues to common folk that just want to
They
appreciate.
can't afford it.
Well, not when I say common folk, I mean non-adventure types.
With no connections to people who cast spells. Okay.
It-
It's an
or
interesting
little
demographic
connection
out
to
there.
them. They're more likely going to
I think you're looking at the word suckers.
closely inspect it as opposed to casting a spell on it.
So back to the idea of trade-worthy items we could trade.
I think
That
we
aren't-
stick to the pearls for however many we can acquire, and the.
For 2,000 apiece,
Necklaces.
we get 2 pearls and are out of money.
No, I did not suggest we take that one woman's pearl. As Belden stated, he believed it to be more of a personal item, and thus to relinquish it was asking that amount. And again, we needn't necessarily provide them gold if there's a service that we can help provide. If there's creatures that need exterminating, we're quite good at that.
Why don't we just go down and try to get some of our own?
Pearls,
Freeze
I
in the
mean.
water. Yeah, go into the island.
Well,
think
I
it would
mean,
be-
without being too opinionated, they're well adapted with hundreds of years of experience in this situation.
Is that
We're
true?
fresh off the boat.
Do we know that they've been here for hundreds of years?
Well, you're probably right. I'm assuming too much, probably. But they got here first, and if they... Never mind. Try your luck.
Why
I don't
we-
disagree with Anansi's idea of if they'll allow us to make our own attempt, then that is something we could do. But again, if we plan on being here for longer than just the one night, we need to
Right.
figure out what goods or services or we're going to provide, as that's what they stated was required. So that is a conversation to be had. Are we staying more than the one night?
It seems like we might be interested. I'm for it. I mean, they're
Gathering these materials
Would-
to sell in Nicodranus is not really the reason we've come here.
Yes,
So-
which is why I propose us finding something that is on land and readily available for us to purchase that we could, at least maintain that cover of we
The
are just
pretense.
merchants. Yes.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to
And
be
then
this
we
island,
stay for the
actually.
one night, we move on to another island unless we can further find out any information on our target.
If we're to purchase anything, my suggestion would be the necklaces.
Yes, I think a few of those necklaces could potentially be useful to us,
A
and
few.
also possibly sell if we do not use them.
Captain,
Yes.
please get this idea of the fact that we are not actually merchants out of your mind. If you want to keep up the pretense, that is fine. We can just purchase things that we will actually use once we leave this area within the next 24 hours.
Wait, we're not actually doing commerce as well? I thought we were multitasking.
Yes, but priorities, right? So imagine, and I'm going to speak for Craven here, imagine that we have a first priority, which is solving our problem, which is the who, what, when, or why of maybe who attacked the various cities on the coastline. And we have a secondary problem of cover, which is to say, we need to look like, smell like, taste like merchants to make sure people welcome us into their ports. We have a third objective, maybe, of actually making some profit or value along the way, which is a nice to have, but not a must have. God, what year is it? Am I still? Anyways, my point is that having our priorities aligned would be super useful right now because we have lots of shit to do and not so much time to do it in.
Yes.
And we just left the Ladies' Island, which makes
Very
us
well.
on watch for everybody else.
I don't know how extravagantly you all live on a day-to-day basis. Should we return to the island immediately without further acquiring any further gold? But all of us should have more than enough for the year should we wish to just laze about.
I'll eat pigeon.
So, let's find out how many of the necklaces they have available for purchase. We'll get them, and I would at least like to get a souvenir of some sort of artwork to put in my cabin. As well.
Like pearls?
No, just artwork. They do make other things. No,
Captain, if you want to try the drugs, just say as such.
No, I want to perhaps try their alcohol, but no, he genuinely does want like some sort of art piece to hang in his captain's quarters because he's vain. That's it. He actually does want just a piece of artwork to buy for himself.
If you don't mind, I can find you a nice souvenir, like a nice piece of driftwood carved in such a way.
But it
If you're
wouldn't
not
be authentic to the island.
Well,
Literally
it's
came
produced
from
here.
the island.
It's
But it
authentic.
wasn't made by an islander.
How do you know that, though?
Because you would have made it.
You wouldn't know. You have you
I don't
ever
want just a
asked
piece of
Belden
shit.
where he's
If you want me to make something, I can just make something. It's not.
Tron is just gonna walk outside and just look for a piece of driftwood
No,
and
let's go get the necklaces.
just walk back in with a piece of driftwood. Aramin, I found
That's
it
a
for
good
you.
piece of driftwood there, Tronos. That looks fantastic.
Yes, a gift for you, Aramin.
It's authentic. It's local.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very, very nice. I'm going to put it right here, and I will make sure to grab it on our way out, and I'll put it right back down on the ground.
I see it's just down on the ground.
Yes. I've
Shouldn't you
made a
put that in
mental
your
note
pack,
of where it
Captain?
is. I will make sure I grab it before we leave.
Oh, here, I'll get that for you. He picks the driftwood up and puts it in Aramin's backpack and just passes the bag. Just there you go.
Oh,
It's
no,
the-
no,
so
I
you really
need-
don't forget it.
I need
Tron just
space
walks
for that.
away.
I'm very quick. Grabs it and just hucks it away.
While I appreciate your investment, Tronis, I think you and I may always lose this game.
Anyway, we're gonna
Nice.
go to the necklace salesman. To find
Okay.
out how many they have and how much.
Belden will hang back because he's ugly.
All right. You approach as they see you again. Ah! This goes well with the layabouts.
Huh? You there it is an interesting culture here. I will not lie. But we actually returned because I wish to know a bit more about these necklaces. For perchance how much they cost, and how many you'd be willing to part with.
As I said before, it depends if what you are trading.
Let's start with just basic gold.
We said before we can let 2 go. Oh, this is necklaces. I got the wrong thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, It didn't say necklace. That was
No, I
the
apologize.
petrifying stuff.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, we have our stone. The necklaces. Those. We could. Here we go. We have 2 of those extra that are not spoken for. Be glad
And how much?
you could do that. We do 100 gold apiece. If it is gold you're trading.
Is there perhaps any goods or services that perchance we could help you with?
We're always interested in goods.
Is there anything in particular that you...
I don't know what you have. What can you bring us that we do not have?
Do we have anything on our ship that would be useful for trading?
Up to y'all. What type of offer do you want to make here?
Well, I don't know what we have. What do we have that we can trade, that we're okay trading?
Well, definitely not carpentry or weapons or food or poisons or, things.
Nothing?
We have cash at this point. We're trading cash for things, the things we sell later. We're low on things right now.
Plus, we want to sell, a few diamonds that we have, which we probably want to keep. And then, sure, we have these magical things, but we probably don't want to sell those either.
Well, I mean, broad question, right? So we have a sense that we have a bunch of magical weapons or at least gear with us. We don't know exactly what they're good for or worth at this point. We have guesses. Would we sell any of our weird little magical loot?
I mean, we could see what they'd offer for one of the plesiosaurus things,
yes,
potentially.
yeah.
It's a C. It's one of the C ones, so they might be interested in that.
Yeah.
It's one of the uncommon ones. Also, I'm not keen on giving away the rarer ones like that. But
So we try with one.
I mean, we see what we can be
yeah.
like. We have this to offer. Like, what do you, explain what it does, and you'd be like, what are you offering? What would you offer for this? Maybe we get a pearl and the necklaces or something. I don't know.
Shoot, maybe more. I mean, what?
Did anybody ever attune to the Orb of Scoreus?
Not yet.
Nope.
I forgot we had that.
What are we waiting on?
Yeah, it's a really good item.
No
It's
really
a great thing. Like,
Yeah, I got the
and,
mind razor.
and did you attune to your rapier? Do I need to code that?
No, I'm currently using something else, but I'll probably use it. I could also code it too. Weapons are
I mean,
Are you-
if it was up for grabs, it's a
So,
cleric
yeah,
will grab
let's-
the orb.
Let's,
That's any caster, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's just the requirement's just spellcaster.
yeah. So, I mean, in theory,
Let's
even I could
see.
attune to
I
it,
mean-
but I'm not going to get any use out of it, really.
I mean, yeah, but if
Yeah.
you have Revivify, I mean, that's just basically a free Revivify. So
Yeah.
I do not.
But back to what we could trade. Like we have one-ish maybe magical item to deal with, and then otherwise not so much.
yeah, I mean, I guess we're willing to part with that. That would be our one trading piece. Well, we're willing
Not
to
the
give
orb,
one
the
of those,
dinosaur, right?
Yeah.
the
The
cheapest
dinosaur.
dinosaur.
Well,
Yeah,
remember,
so-
we had 3 of each of the dinosaurs, so I would
Right.
say
Yeah.
one of the plesiosaurs.
Right.
Again, for ocean dwellers, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I guess back in character. Well, we do have this magical statue, which may be of interest to you. It can turn into a large beast of some sort. I don't exactly recall the name of it, but it seems Plesiosauros is, I believe.
Melvin
it's
rolls
called.
as a heist.
Tronus visibly cringes.
It's a giant, terrible lizard. that roams the sea, and you could also cast a spell that allows you to brave water while you ride it.
Yes. If you'd like, I can perhaps one of the members of my crew can run back and get it for you, and you can inspect it.
Yes. So you can easy enough get it here, I think.
Yeah.
And they look at it. They take a few people and they nod. Say, we think fair trade. We can give you the 2 necklaces and our 2 vials of our of the dead creature powder.
And just out of character, you did say earlier that they did have like artwork and stuff.
You know, they can throw in some artwork for the captain.
Yes. I need to
Direct one that he
decorate my
flew out.
captain's quarters.
You get the inner. It's like a flattened shell that depicts, like the beautiful sea, and a bunch of people laying about and not working.
That sounds great. That's gonna go right over my bed for now. Alright, that sounds like a good deal to me, sir. As I reach out my hand to shake with him. Alright. Business concluded. Now we revel! As he holds his arm up, as he looks around for a drink to grab and hold up to toast with. If he can't find anything quickly, he just grabs his water skin and holds that up.
All the others toasted. The ones that are like, "Hey!" as they all that are off.
Under his breath, Belden in Dwarven mutters, "Cocksure idiot."
I want artwork. Actually, I don't want artwork. I want to find a fossil of an Amalite. Nice, all rainbowy. We put it in the kitchen.
You can do that. Yeah.
So we have the night here, and then after that, what's your plan, Cap? Tomorrow morning we sail for some other shore. What's the idea?
My plan is perhaps try to get some more information about past visitors to the island while we're partying. Liquor loosens lips.
It does, doesn't it?
Hey, you never know, art department. You never know. And if and you know, then we leave in the morning.
Sounds eminently reasonable. Should we set a watch?
No, we've both sworn to of not be aggressive towards each other.
Right.
We are amongst friends.
Got it.
No,
Yeah.
Captain, you're misusing that word. We are among acquaintances at best. Strangers is more the correct term, though under a...
I consider them my friends.
Right.
You
know
can consider
one
them however you
person's
wish.
name. You cannot consider this entire island of tieflings your friends.
Not with that attitude, you can't. Now let's go revel.
Revel. Oh, yes, revel we will.
Okay.
For the
So you
record,
go-
Tronus doesn't go to revel. He's not a rebel person.
Belden goes back to the ship and basically keeps watch by himself as long as he can. not having the goddamn alarm spell for some stupid reason. Just
I'm
keep an eye
going
on
with
the
the
deck
captain
and be
to make
like,
sure he doesn't
what's,
get in trouble.
yeah, what's going on?
So who gets drunk and revels?
Airman's reveling. He is also
Just Airman? Okay.
before he gets too drunk, he does want to ask about previous visitors and, you know, when the last visitors were, who they might, what they were like, possibly.
Yeah, I think.
I think I would have stayed with Airman because I don't want him. I need to keep an eye on him because he runs his mouth too much.
Yeah, I went with you.
Yes,
I didn't get drunk, but I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, Airman needs somebody to.
Yeah. I would say that something you can pick up is that the last ones through here were a group of people who kind of earned their keep for a few days by entertaining the locals with turning into various animals.
Yeah. Well, they seem like a very entertaining bunch of folks. Which way did they go?
You get that they would have sailed east.
Perhaps we'll run into them on our travels. They seem like a wonderfully fun bunch of folks.
And I go, yes, they traded. Someone goes and there's like this thing they actually keep. There's actually a few guards around it. There's what looks like this wooden cage that's small, maybe 6 inches around, in which there is a flower that's brimming with electricity and clouds. Traded one of those.
And what is that exactly?
Beautiful.
They just said, if we're ever under attack, we can break it and get under something.
If only our wizard was here to perhaps figure it out. Do you mind if we promise not to touch it? Could we get a closer look at it?
They were not to touch it unless we intended to use it. They let you within 10 feet and watch you carefully.
Oh, yeah.
Does me or anybody with me want to try to roll to see if we can figure out what it is?
I'm there.
Alright.
I'll explain that I'm just going to cast a like a detect magic, that I'm not trying to harm anybody, but obviously I can't hide the casting of that, to just try and determine what it is, so that to give them more insight into what it is.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, you tell them to do that, and they go, okay, yeah, like they're good with it. Again, they're not necessarily superstitious people. They're just like, oh, okay, they just are careful.
So I'll cast detect magic as part of this looking into it.
Absolutely. It brims bright with conjuration.
Whatever that flower truly is, it will summon something forth. If they told you to hide, I can imagine they told you to get under something.
The rock, something that would protect us.
Perhaps some kind of storm, possibly hailstones.
You seem to not really know.
No, I'm telling you that's what they might, what it might.
Yeah,
summon.
they go. Maybe okay. So storm, get out of the rain. Yeah, they take it in.
I can summon a small storm for a time.
All right. Anything else there?
No, we found out that the druids came by. They went east. Did they say how long ago?
Say the last time I heard about 3 weeks ago.
Alright. So yeah, that's all the information that we really needed from him. So yeah, that's
All right.
at least as far as Airman's concerned, that is.
He said, if
There's
Airman's
a
getting
lot of
wasted,
information.
you got to roll a D100 on the wasted table.
Hell yeah.
I was,
Hell yeah.
There's a wasted table.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
not aware of that either. But that is a 21.
21.
Wow. Okay.
He can legally do this.
It's like your first time.
Yeah,
Give me a D6.
a D6. All right. For the record, using the GM. Oh, that's a 6. The GM Bellow dice.
6
Okay.
dragons descend.
All right. So
From-
the way it works
from
when
getting
you're on this
drunk?
chart is I'll give you the prompt, and you got to tell me what happened and how you're getting out of it.
Oh,
Oh boy.
And
Love it.
so you wake up in an unfamiliar house here on the island. And there's an absolute stranger next to you who is unspeakably hideous.
Oh.
I'm gonna just quietly as possible gather up my
Chew your arm
stuff.
Your plate armor?
It's mithril plate.
Mithril, it's mithril.
Clang.
It is mithril plate.
Bang. Oh, sorry.
Whispers, not the whispering metal.
Give me a stealth check.
It's not a disadvantage because it is mithril.
Yeah,
plate.
exactly.
This is what you got it for.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
So that's a straight roll for 16. That's
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
There we go. Not the first time he's had to sneak out.
Pick up, and some are already up to work as they look out and see you fall out the window.
I just kind of
Witnessed your walk of shame.
I kind of just clear my throat, nod my head at them, and just go on.
Were we offered a room to stay the night?
Yeah.
I think as a maybe he'll learn his lesson. I watched the captain leave with said hideous person and was like, "Yeah, let's see if some regret tempers his drinking. Because I too like to drink, but I'm on a mission. I drink when I'm home, not on mission. So I probably stayed in the room that they provided.
Just for clarification, he wasn't intending to get drunk. He just didn't realize how easily he would get drunk. He is a very lightweight. He didn't have that much to drink, but he still got blackout drunk.
And as the captain wanders back, as one does after a long, confusing night.
So wait, did you guys come back to shore, or are you expecting him to come back to the ship?
Did he go back to shore or ship?
I mean, I was on shore when
Right.
I woke up.
So yeah, I'm saying, did Belden and them come back to shore in the morning to gather, Craven and the captain?
You probably took one boat over, so you probably would have to come
So,
back.
yeah, you would have
Yeah.
had to have come back on the boat, otherwise we
Right.
couldn't get back out there unless we swam.
Well,
if
instead
we-
of going back to where they'd set us up, I'm going to find a semi-secluded area, put my stuff back on, and then try to just mingle with maybe some people hanging out at the beach or something. I'm gonna try to play it off like I got up before them, and I'm just I've been doing stuff. I've
Up
been-
before who?
the two elves that were also on shore with me.
Yeah.
You
you're
mean the
definitely
ones
getting
that
up
only
before
rest for
me.
4 hours at a night?
Yes.
You do
I-
not get up.
Let me clarify. I also left Atsumu there to let me know in case something went wrong that I needed to come bail you out. So Atsumu absolutely let me know, oh, hey, he's climbing out of a window right now.
He pulled the full Pinkman in episode 1. Just out the window.
No, he was not aware of that though, and he has forgotten that the two people that were with him only needed to go into a trance for 4 hours. So he's going to pretend that he woke up before them. Again, he's not very smart, people. You seem to forget that.
If there's a breakfast that I can bring out to the captain with Atsumu's direction, I will do as such.
Actually, Aaron probably went to where they had set up nets for catching fish and stuff, and he was like, helping pull them in and reset them, and like he's actually really good at that part.
Assuming they let you.
Why wouldn't they?
Because you're a stranger.
I'm offering to help.
They don't know your competency level.
So you're
But
just
they
trying to
like me.
randomly help them? Give me.
I don't just walk up and randomly start trying to help them. I offer to help them and like, hey, I have done this in the past.
What are you trying to help them with specifically?
With their fishing stuff,
Okay.
the setting of their nets and hauling in. And
Because
stuff like that.
obviously, as a non-planer of this experience, you know fishing around here.
I mean, out of character, you guys wouldn't know this, but he was raised on a fishing boat.
Give me a survival check.
You mean you weren't raised under the ocean?
Astral fishing?
No, in Marquette, or near Marquette, small village near Marquette.
I thought you were of the sea.
Thought you were Blood Club. Not.
I'm a
Yeah.
Triton, but that doesn't mean I was. I'm going to use my inspiration from earlier because I have a negative survival score. Okay. Well, it's a
Just because you grew up doing it doesn't mean you were
17.
ever good at it.
yes. I got a 12 and a 19, so 19 minus 2 is 17.
Holy crap.
Suck it.
Okay. You expertly help them fish. Like, it's faster than normal. They're going to get more hours of fishing and more fish today. Really good job, though. You are very helpful. Like the brilliant captain.
Yes, I am. I am.
As someone from the cabin you snuck out of goes, he wasn't that brilliant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think at some point in that I show up with just like a plate of like some fish and fruit and be like, and how was your escapade, Captain? I know you haven't eaten. Here, you should replenish yourself.
No, I woke up plenty early this morning and already ate some breakfast. And at that, you hear your stomach rumble. I did work up a bit of an appetite, though, helping with the fishing this morning, so
Yes,
I'll have a
I'm
bite.
sure you'll think on your actions of the previous night and recall this hungry meal you're about to consume.
He just grabs a piece of bread and eats that. And is trying to play it off like nothing happened last night.
I grabbed the meal and I started chowing down. And I'm like, this is good. And I put it back because it's just food.
The
That's
difference
right.
between this
I
character and Thola is just ridiculous. Thola is all about the food.
Well, remember, Anansi has, a special diet.
Yeah.
Not involving calories.
It's very
a
liquid.
high
you could
iron.
say.
Very iron heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately. Can't enjoy
Anyways.
food like you used to.
And I'll finish the meal since the captain's playing off like he's not hungry.
I did
Well,
eat.
you're-
I took
you're
a piece
lost.
of bread. I took a piece of bread and I ate that.
Congrats.
Yes, be sure to grab something else after your arduous labor here.
This will be fine.
Well, I don't want to continue interrupting. It seems like they still have, and I look at the sun, according to their work ethic, 12 hours of work left. So you keep at it, Captain. And I pat you on the back and I start walking.
Well, we have to. we were told that we had to leave today, so I do want to make sure I. What was the guy's name that greeted us? Ryan has forgotten. Aaron
I actually don't have it for my
Zara.
notes.
Zara?
Yeah.
So, Airman's gonna make sure he bids farewell to Zara, giving him a big hug before he leaves. So, like, he goes to shake his hand and then he pulls him in for a big bro hug.
Nice. And he does. He hugs like, good speed.
Yes. Perhaps we will venture back here another time with more goods to trade or work to do.
Right here.
something.
Just hail down. Whoever seems to be here. If not, we would be up within the volcanoes.
Very well. I wish you a good harvest of the pearls and of anything else that you are harvesting.
Would it be wise for us to appear within the volcano unannounced?
When you travel that direction, you should find or try to find a road. As long as you walk upon that, you will be addressed. Just state your purpose honestly.
Very well. You could not have been any more hospitable, Zara.
It's good to hear. That's all way.
Hopefully we don't come back and see you on the other side of the island. Or at the other side of the gate, whatever the hell. Keep that work ethic up. Like, so don't go.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't worry about me. Well, unless they become in charge, then yeah. No. Not to knock it, but that's not my way.
All right. Well, shall we head back to our ship then, gentlemen?
Yes.
And Belden.
Gentlemen and Belden.
I thought Feldon and Charnas were already on the ship.
Well, you had to come back
so
with
we can go on the ship.
Because
You guys
I think-
took the boat back.
Because somebody has to actually pull your asses back to the boat. Yes, you're not wrong. By the way, Captain, your eyes are a little baggy today. If you don't mind me remarking, I think you need more sleep, probably at the wheel. Oh wait, hang on to it.
Taz is our helmsman.
You need right,
and he does a wonderful job of it.
But as the never mind. The entirety of it is wasted on you. Shall we fucking go home?
Home?
The boat. The boat.
Oh yes, to our ship.
You're way too committed to that boat.
Well, among
It's
the
my
places I
temporary.
intend to die, that and Elysium are a bit far apart. So, I'll take the boat.
It is a ship.
Well, technically it's not. It rolls in, not out.
You've
It's
mentioned this Elysium on more than one occasion. Is that your end goal?
Not particularly, no. It's a nice stopover, actually. Given lots of choices, if I'm going to be picky, and then I usually am picky, I feel like, man, the choices are so broad.
Do you not follow Moradin? Would you not wish to go to his halls?
Why would you just pick one, right? I think Corlan Rathian has a good idea. I think Sehanin has a good idea. Malora has a good idea. There's a ton of good options.
I don't think there is
Moradin's more in the
path
dark
to
and
go between them.
my point is more. I'm not big on caves or mountains these days. I kind of like the open wind. So Moradin's point of view may be a little bit not my pleasure. You follow?
I suppose so.
There's an entire plethora of gods out there. And the one you're born under doesn't have to be the one you die under. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I hope you guys had a nice evening on the boat.
Don't worry, I'll show you all the evening the captain had. Once
I
we
would
get on
love
the
that.
boat.
That would be magnificent, in fact.
But we did learn something actually last night.
Besides the death of a bottle and the taste of a gutter?
It's the stopover of the ones that turn into animals for a stay.
Yes. They also have something similar to the orb that was used on the island and on the Marquette and the coast of Wildmount. It's a flower brimming with electrical energy. I was able to determine that it was concentrated conjuration magic. So my assumption is that it summons forth a storm of similar nature. They were told to hide beneath rocks when they used it.
That aligns closely. Do you want to leave it there or do you want to destroy it?
I don't wish to cause trouble for them, and it could potentially be useful for their defense should others come attacking, but if we find the need to take it at a later date, I can make the endeavor.
Think about this, though. Something that immense that they traded. Wonder what they received. The druids, that is.
The only caution I have is they said once it's touched, it goes off, so I don't know how to capture it, so to speak. We do not have those orbs that the higher-ups spoke of.
Keep it in that cage. It's pretty big, but it's your best bet.
Yeah, so a better wizard than I could probably produce a force cage around it and make it inert in its own way, but moving it now seems pretty dangerous. Yeah, you're not wrong. I feel like this is a difficult thing to muck with at this point. If they can leave it alone and protect it, that's probably better than playing with it right now.
Drana's hearing all of this. He's just gonna kind of step away, and still within ear and eye shot, just step to the opposite end of the deck and just start ritual casting commune.
Okay.
Just while everyone's having their conversation.
Sounds good.
This is time for God talk.
It's time for God talk.
All right. So, and who it is that we commune with?
Celestian, the literal son of
The
Exandria.
actual sun.
The actual son.
That's right, the actual sun.
Yes. The god of stars and wanderers.
Okay. Step away upon the boat and what do you put out to connect with the sun?
So he sets up his he climbs into the highest crow's nest, or the highest point of the ship, and sets up the incense and takes out his scrying mirror, and kind of in a similar way he would do scrying, he just points the mirror so the sun is reflecting off of it and directly into his eyes.
Okay. Signs and barons, there's that ascetic pain that pushes through And as your vision becomes pure white with the burning and damaging light of the sun, you feel the connection to all things the sun touches and burns. What would you like to ask?
The flower these people have on the island, does it hold the same power as what the druids released upon the Menagerie Coast?
The light seemingly impossibly grows in intensity as you feel your skin beginning to burn, giving you a yes.
Okay. Was it indeed the druids that we come for who passed through this island?
Even hotter as your red skin begins to blister. For a yes.
And then I believe it's 3 questions. Yeah. Last question. Are you having a pleasant day?
Yes.
And the spell ends.
I'll take that as a yes.
Now, is his skin actually blistering as he's communing? Because
Yeah.
if I notice that, I'm literally grabbing a bucket, and I think for that last question, I'm dumping water onto him, seeing his skin like.
I love that. How's your day? Ah!
You got up here fast.
Is there a smell up here like crispy bacon?
I really hope you haven't been eating elf Belden.
Not recently, no.
That is not a story that I want to know of.
I have an answer to your question, though, about the flower and your thoughts about that flower. It does hold the same power as what you say the druids use on the island and the coast.
May I ask why it is that every time you speak with your god, you seem to burn?
He just looks up at the sun.
Like, is that a necessary interaction point? Like, you're currently not burning, but every time you speak to them, your skin literally sizzles.
Oh, does it?
That's why I threw the water upon you. I thought you were about to burst into flame.
Yeah, anytime I commune with Melora, I normally just, get a cool shaped cloud or a nice breeze.
Well, he is a sun. I mean, suns give off intense heat.
And yet you don't see even my fair skin bubbling the way yours is currently.
It's divine power. They're weird. That's why you can't really trust them all the time.
He does like to pull some pranks, yes.
Well, define pranks for me if you don't mind.
He just starts listing off, in just celestial things. He'll, go into words, you just probably wouldn't understand, through celestial. Some of them in common, just listing off, the most childish pranks that you would not expect from a sun. The actual sun, but, he'll just, disappear for a little bit and just, come back out. And then,
Does he hide behind the moon sometimes?
No, even when the moons are away. Specifically just to me, yes. It was stranger, living in, off of Exandria. I'm not from here. But it was more fun, floating about the astral expanse with that. It was fun. Now, getting a closer look at Atrontis' armor, it's burnt. Like it's charred armor.
So we now know that these natives have a bomb in their midst, akin to the same ones that attacked most of the cities. What else did you learn?
I learned it truly was, because of Verithia and her clan that passed through and gave them the flower. And that Celestian is having a nice day.
That's good news, I guess.
Yeah, it's very good news.
Yeah. Yep. I deeply appreciate your crispiness.
You're welcome.
Deeply. So, as far as next shores, we have some backward-looking answers, but not forward-looking answers. What's next?
We could go east, or we could go around. I guess we're all trying to be quick about it, but it depends. I mean, we're either going to fall behind and just... Oh, I guess we could catch them at a place, but we'll have to be quick.
I don't think the volcanic island between Apadra and Elise is necessarily useful to us. This is my opinion, personally. So if those tribes are not helpful, if they were aided by or aided Verithia and then left behind, what's next?
Well, I mean, I guess we think, honestly, they would head to some of the colonies. I would think about it. I mean, they were all about showing the societies and such. So I think the colonies would be some of the first places they would go to.
My suggestion is we head east.
Towards what goal in particular, or just broadly east?
Another island.
Another island, see if they've come into contact with whatever native settlers we find there.
That's not unreasonable. We can keep up our pretense. Captain, let me remind you, this is a pretense that we're actually trading for goods and need something to bring back, eventually, to civilization if we ever find it. Right?
Yes. Speaking of, who wants to hold our...
Or what? Pearls?
We didn't get any pearls. We got necklaces and vials of...
Petrification powder.
Dead critter powder, yes. Got it. I mean, honestly, Cap, if you want to hold that to yourself, that's perfectly fine, as long as it doesn't kill you in your sleep. But, if you want us to make use of it, tell us what to do with it. I'm curious about dead critter powder, but that's just me.
Here, you can have them. Unless somebody else wants to hold on to one.
I'm good, though. I mean, of course, the necklaces would be useful, but the people aren't really much used petrified, are they?
The necklaces are single use, so I think those that most recently were getting pummeled the most were Tronus and the captain.
I mean, I won't turn away a nice piece of jewelry.
Oh, but I just realized, Captain, you cannot have two necklaces at once. There's no such thing as two chains. So perhaps an Ansi should have the other.
I'm not wearing a necklace.
You've got the life turner.
Oh, that's right.
Tronus has an amulet.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically I have an amulet as well, but you can't have two magical items equipped in the same slot.
Yeah.
Because I guess technically I'm wearing 3 necklaces right now because I've got an amulet, a life turner, and I've also got my trinket from my background.
We found him. We found 3 chains, but there's no confirmation of 2 chains.
Well, and technically one of them is just a string. I think 2 of them are on strings, actually. Only one of them is on a chain. I've got 2 strings. I'm 2 strings. 1 chain.
One giant. 2 strings.
1 chain, 2 string.
Not quite as catchy, but you know, hey.
Ridiculous.
East we go. Trying to make new friends. I'm guessing, like I said, high societies, colonies. We should have to keep black one.
Before we get into more business, the orb. Going to all the spellcasters who would like to attune to that.
That is all of us.
Also, I draw out the just a sketch of the particularly homely person the captain spent the night with for the others.
Trying
like
compares to Belden.
Is this
Damn.
like a wanted poster, or what is this?
Yes. What is that a drawing of?
We'll honestly, for a minute, we thought it was Belden's mother, but
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be my cousin, but it's a really crude drawing. I think she's less pretty than that, honestly.
yeah, it wasn't good. But you know, yeah, someone enjoyed themselves at least.
She probably did.
Not from the response I heard of her this morning.
I see. Well,
You talked
tip your waitress, I guess.
I truly don't know what you're going on about.
That's all right, Captain. You needn't worry your little mind about it.
Craven, thank you for the portrait of my long-lost cousin. I much appreciate that. It's very helpful in remembering what I'm sailing for.
What? Oh, is that what you're sailing for? Your family?
Well, no, but it's helpful to remember who's waiting for you back at home when you come to port after a long, long dry spell.
Anansi, if you recall, Belden has spent much time in the wilds, doing as the wilds do. So,
yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
if you recall his many stories, so
I recall them all.
I truly am confused as to what y'all are going on about.
you all figure out who that orb's going to, and I start
I
Heading-
said Tronus.
heading us east because Kaz has taken a nap, and I have water vehicle proficiencies.
Nice.
If not,
I mean, I think this is the one group where we've got multiple people that actually are.
if not, I don't have the helmsman rank, but I do have water vehicle proficiency, so it kind of helps.
But Belden pulls out a stack, literally like a roll of maps of all the various parts of this part of the ocean. Some incomplete, some well done, some badly done, some in his hand, and just like, I got some ideas, but I'm not sure I got them right.
Hopefully, some from the ladies' trove.
Yeah, well, I got a pile of those, but also a pile of spell books. I'll put those away later. Hang on, but there's a bunch of maps here. We'll work them out.
Okay, and so what is the general route you want to like? Where are you trying to go? What is your ideal destination here?
East.
The next
Just
island
east.
east, I think, is the next thing.
The one with the mountains and no trees, or one with the mountains and trees?
So here, I'll show you.
Or do we accident? Well, we were on the west, right? Of the big island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on the west, western.
you're basically
northwest edge.
here.
Yep.
And so, really, to travel east, you have to come south here to get here because you can't go between these islands; it's too shallow.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to stick there, so you'd have to come.
So then technically we'd probably end up on World Seed Island.
I mean,
Which would the higher ups have
Ironic.
told us about that, knowing that this was the group heading to the Shattered Teeth?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I don't think they would have, because I think everything regarding Kea is like
It has been kept
super strict, need to know, and I don't think we needed to know about anything to do with that.
Well, yeah, that's technically the next east island. that we
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know though.
But I think well, I think the idea is more like, I suppose, what island you want to go. Like, what is it that you're specifically wanting to find? Like the signs you're looking for. You're looking for more of a city or a port.
We're looking for the next island with civilization that's to the east
Yeah,
of us, I
potentially.
think.
But what level of civilization would you regard? Just any life, or
If we see that there's sentient life, I think that's
Yeah.
what I'd be looking for. just
Humanoid.
to-
I think it's talking like large, like big enough for like Nicodranus or something smaller, like.
I
Just,
think-
no, I'm just looking
Even
for
just something similar to what we just ran into.
where it was.
I
Like,
think
oh,
anything
you know,
that
this could be-
size or bigger.
okay? So we'll come back with that then. Basically, you're coming down here, and you want to find it more in the eastern area.
Yeah, because that's where we
so you're,
we
so you're
heard that they
ignoring
went
stuff
east.
here, and you're basically looking more in here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But it,
So that'd be
Yeah.
more or less your voyage in this to this area. All right, so we'll come to next week as you attempt to find said stuff.
Oh, is there any way we could have gotten some other just generic supplies like rations and stuff like that to refill that we might have used up on our journey beforehand?
I don't think they have the rations you need now, because you have your whole crew you got to take care of. So,
Yeah.
like when it comes to your ship supplies, this was not a port.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all good. Don't worry about it, guys. What you got me for?
Yeah.
Because we were able to resupply when we went to the place or the last island.
Yes.
The ladies.
Yeah, you spied here in Durexel.
And, right. So we had 3 legs, and I'm good.
Yeah.
So,
So that's why I was asking if you were looking for a port or no. So you're not. So you're not trying to find a port to resupply currently.
Right. Yeah. I figured I would use my levels for the next journey.
All right, then sounds good. With that, we will end for tonight and come back next week. All of that. Those of you watching, thank you so much, and we will see you then.